They say thoughts create destiny, but thoughts alone don't warm a cold night. They don't pay for medicine. They don't turn fear into food. What if the real switch isn't what you think, but what you give? Tonight's story begins on a crowded platform and ends with a truth that can flip your future. Stay till the end. You won't forget this one. He was 20, thin, tired, a backpack with a broken zipper and a heart that refused to quit. His name was Ravi. Every morning he reached the station before sunrise. He tied his shoelaces with fingers swollen from winter. He watched trains arrive, trains leave, and dreams roll past like thunder. Ravi had a sign: help for food. Some days he earned enough for bread. Most days he didn't. He had a mother at home. She coughed through the night. He warmed her tea with a single candle when the power failed. He told her, "I'll manage." He didn't. Ravi tried thinking positive. It helped for 10 minutes. Then the crowd swallowed his hope again. One morning, a man in a gray coat stepped off the train. Not loud, not flashy. But when he walked, people moved. He stopped near Ravi. They looked at each other. "Help for food," the man read aloud. Ravi nodded. The man asked, "How much do you need today?" Ravi said, "Anything." The man smiled gently. "Anything is nothing. What do you actually need?" Ravi swallowed. 200. For medicine too. The man reached into his pocket. Ravi held his breath. Instead of cash, the man pulled out a pen. "Do you have paper?" he asked. Ravi blinked. "Paper? You're holding a pen already," the man said. "It's in your head. You just don't see it." He pointed at the crowd. Everyone wants something. Tea, seats, quiet, hope. If you give them a reason to stop, they'll stop. If you give nothing, they'll give nothing. "I don't have anything to give," Ravi whispered. "You have hands," the man said. "You have eyes. You have a story. Trade value, not pity." He drew a circle on a torn flyer. Inside the circle, he wrote one word: exchange. Then he handed Ravi the pen. "Today, don't ask. Offer, I'll be back at sunset." He disappeared into morning. Ravi stared at the pen, at the circle, at the word, exchange. He looked around. A tea stall steamed. A vendor shouted. A violinist tuned a broken string. Ravi found a cardboard sheet behind a pillar. He flipped his sign over and wrote, "Pay what you wish. I'll sketch your face in 60 seconds. He could draw, badly. But children didn't care about perfect. They cared about feeling seen. A little girl tugged her mother's scarf. "Can he draw me?" Ravi smiled weakly. "Sit here." He scratched quick lines, added big eyes, a bow, a cartoon grin. He wrote "brave" under the picture and shaded a tiny crown. The girl squealed. Her mother laughed. She handed Ravi 50. "Not bad, artist." Artist. The word felt like sunlight. More kids came. A college student, a couple, an old man who said, "Make me look 20, and laughed at his own joke. Ravi's sketches weren't perfect, but each page carried a little crown, a little bravery, a little joy. He wasn't begging. He was trading. A smile for a coin, a sketch for a minute of attention. By noon, his backpack was thicker. By afternoon, his courage was too. At 4 o'clock, the crowd thinned. The platform cooled. Coins slowed. Doubt circled like a stray dog. He counted quietly. Close to 200. Not enough for medicine. Not enough for a long winter. A train roared through without stopping. Wind tore his papers loose. They skittered like white birds, then died against the rails. He closed his eyes. He heard his mother coughing. He saw the gray coat pointing at exchange. "Give more," Ravi told himself. "Give better." He taped the papers back. He wrote a new line under his sign. "Tell me one thing you love about yourself." I'll draw that a shy boy whispered, "I'm good at fixing things." Ravi drew him with a tiny toolbox and a heroic stance. He wrote, "Builder." The boy's father pressed 100 into Ravi's hand without a word. A woman said, "I'm learning to say no." Ravi drew a small shield above her heart. He wrote, "Boundaries." She laughed and cried at the same time. She hugged him, then gave more than he would have asked. Value, real value, not a face, but a feeling. The hour wasn't empty anymore. The sky blushed orange. The man in the gray coat returned. He watched from a distance as Ravi drew a tired nurse with wings made of bandages. "Healer." People clapped. "So," the man asked, "did you sell your day or trade it?" "I traded it," Ravi said. "How much?" Ravi told him. "It's a start," the man said. "Now ask a harder question." Ravi frowned. "What question?" "How can I make this 10 times more valuable for them?" "Better drawings?" "Maybe. Or faster. Or personal. Or packaged. Or portable. Or connected. Or meaningful." The man's eyes sparkled. "Value has layers. Peel them." He placed a folded paper in Ravi's hand. "Come by this address at 7 a.m. if you're serious." Khanna and Company, printing and packaging. Ravi's heart kicked like a drum. The shop smelled like fresh ink and possibilities. Stacks of paper, ribbons, boxes, labels like candy. Mr. Khanna, gray coat, warm eyes, poured tea. "Most people think success is big thoughts," he said. "Thoughts help. Markets reward useful." He slid over a small blank notebook. "Sketch 30 tiny portraits, 1 line each. A word beneath that captures their strength. Package it with care. Sell it as a pocket of courage." "A product?" Ravi asked. "A gift," Khanna said. "A keepsake. Something people can hold, share, remember." They designed a craft sleeve, a tiny sticker. "You are more than you think." A ribbon thin as a promise. Khanna taught costs and margins. How to say a price without apologizing, he smiled. "Remember, you're not selling paper. You're selling how people feel about themselves when they hold it." Ravi walked out with a small box of inventory and a nervous grin. Back at the station, Ravi set up a cleaner board. "Pocket of Courage, custom mini sketch set. Your story, your words, your gift." People slowed. Some asked. One man scoffed, 200? For little doodles? Ravi's ears burned. He remembered Khanna. "Say the price like you believe it. Then be quiet." He did. Silence stretched. The man left. Rejection stung. He breathed, tried again. A woman listened. She bought one for her sister. Then came back and bought 3 more. Weddings, birthdays, resignations, she smiled. Everyone needs a pocket of courage. By sunset, Ravi had sold out. He sent Khanna a photo, an empty box and a full heart. Reply, "Good. Now build roots." Then rain came like a broken dam. The platform flooded. Newspaper umbrellas, shivering shoes, sales dropped to 0 hertz. On day 1, he stayed home. On day 2, he nearly quit. On day 3, he opened the window and let the rain slap his face. "I am not a beggar," he said aloud. "I trade value." He grabbed plastic sheets and tape. He built a small, sheltered booth out of scrap. He wrote, "Rain special. I'll draw your strongest memory." Free waterproof sleeve. People smiled. They waited in line, dripping and laughing. He drew first savings, last goodbyes, first applause, last exams. Tears mixed with rain, money mixed with gratitude. That's when a new stall appeared beside him. Bright sign, neat table, a young man with a razor smile. Vic. "Speed portraits," Vic announced. "Only 100. Better than cartoons. I use real markers." Customers drifted. Ravi felt panic rise. Price war, speed war. He looked at his own board. He saw the flaw. It sold drawings, not meaning. He flipped the board and wrote, "I draw your future word. The one you're becoming. Includes message card you can carry in your wallet. Limit 15 per day. Scarcity, meaning. A takeaway." The line moved back. Vic watched, annoyed but impressed. That night, Ravi counted slowly. Enough for medicine, enough for rent, enough for tomorrow. He texted Khanna one word, "Roots." Reply, "Storms teach more than sunshine." But the storm wasn't finished. Late that week, his mother collapsed. He rushed her to the clinic. Medicines, tests, bills. He paid without blinking. He watched her sleep. He thought of every coin, every builder, every brave. He whispered, "Stay." At dawn, she opened her eyes and smiled. "Tea?" she asked. He laughed and cried at the same time. He slept on a plastic chair. When he woke, there was a note by the bed in shaky handwriting. "Proud of you, my artist. Keep drawing the world kind." Some days success is not applause. Some days success is a steady breath in a quiet room. Back at Kana's shop, Ravi brought rain-soaked samples. "I need to improve," he said, "not just sell." Build Kana took out a sheet titled Value Blueprints. "People buy for 5 reasons," he said, ticking each finger. "Identity, memory, hope, belonging, celebration. Designed for those, not for paper and ink." They brainstormed identity packs, mini sketches plus 1 word for teams starting a new project, farewell envelopes, a set of 5 personal cards for colleagues leaving, new parent bundle, a portrait with the baby's future word sealed for the 18th birthday, healing notes, tiny frames for hospital desks. Ravi left with new samples and a new spine, lights, music, artists with canvases wide as walls, photographers with lenses like telescopes. Ravi's table looked small and shy. He wrote 1 sentence on his board, "I'll draw the version of you you're becoming." People stopped. They sat. He asked, "If your future self wrote you a single word today, what would it be?" They whispered their words. Fearless, kind, CEO, present, free. He drew them wearing that word. Subtle, simple, true. By noon, the organizer stopped to watch. By evening, a local magazine writer did too. Headline next day, "Station Stories Steals Hearts." He texted his mother the clipping. She sent a voice note, thin but proud. "You drew on our walls as a boy. Now you draw on the world." A week later, Vic appeared at Ravi's booth with a proposal. "Let's partner," he said. "I got speed. You got story. We can do events." Ravi hesitated. Vic had undercut him once, but business is not marriage. It's exchange. "Okay," Ravi said. "One trial." They split a weekend wedding. Vic did quick guest sketches outside. Ravi created a couple's future word frame inside. 2 portraits, 1 shared word. It worked. Guests lined up. The bride cried happy tears. The groom paid extra. Vic and Ravi shook hands and split profit honestly. Ravi wrote a note on the wall of his shop. Competition can be collaboration in disguise. A year later, Ravi rented a tiny shop near the station. A blue door, a bell that chimed like a friendly idea. On the wall hung a sign, "We trade in courage, memory, and meaning." He trained 2 more helpers. He taught them the rule. Look for the person, not the purchase. A box by the counter read, "On the house." If someone walked in empty but left visibly lighter, a sketch slipped into their bag anyway. He refused to forget the boy with the broken zipper. He refused to forget the circle. Exchange. One afternoon, a corporate assistant entered, heels ticking like a clock. "Our CEO wants custom pieces for a leadership retreat," she said. 40 portraits, 1 word each, with frames. "We need them in 3 days." Ravi quoted his price. She didn't blink. "Approved," she said. "But the CEO will review first." The next morning, Ravi stood in a glass office high above traffic. The CEO's suit fit like a decision. He skimmed the samples. "Nice," he said, "but cut the price by 30%. Ravi felt his old fear rise. His palms went cold. His mouth went dry. He remembered Kana. Price is a story. "Tell it with dignity," Ravi spoke softly. "We don't discount meaning. But I can redesign the package. Thinner frames, same art, lower cost. Or keep today's quality, and I'll include a team ceremony. Each leader unwraps while we read their word. It will feel like a pledge." Silence. The city hummed below. The CEO's face softened. "Keep the quality," he said. "Add the ceremony." Full price approved. Ravi walked out taller. He texted Kana, held the line, reply, "That's how you build a brand." The ceremony was electric. Executives cried. They hugged. They whispered their word out loud. Ravi learned something huge that day. People don't remember what you sell. They remember how you made them become. A week later, there was a letter on Ravi's counter. No name. 3 sentences. "Your sketch sits on my desk. It says, fearless." Yesterday, I finally resigned and started the company I always wanted. Ravi framed the letter near the blue door. He rang the bell once, like a small celebration. Months later, Ravi was invited to speak at an entrepreneurship meetup. He stepped onto the stage and saw nervous faces, hungry faces, faces like the shoes he used to watch. He said, "I thought my life would change when I thought positive. It didn't. It changed when I gave positive. When I traded value for value. When I packaged care, not paper. When I chose dignity over desperation. When I built roots, not noise." He held up a blank page. "This is your platform. Don't wait for the big train. Sketch the person in front of you. Start small. Start now." They stood and clapped, not because the speech was perfect, because it was real. A national magazine picked up Ravi's story, a short column, a photo of the blue door. Kana visited with a grin. "You're visible now," he said. "Visibility multiplies value, but don't chase lights. Serve the next person well." Ravi hugged him, then slid a frame across the counter, a drawing of a circle with exchange inside. Under it he wrote, "You handed me a pen." "Thank you." Kana's eyes glistened. "Keep giving," he whispered. "The world always pays its debts, sometimes in money, sometimes in miracles." Winter eased, the clinic visits reduced. One evening, Ravi pushed open the blue door to find his mother sitting on a stool, sewing new ribbons. "You shouldn't be out," he said. She smiled. "I can tie bows better than you." They worked in silence. Then she said, "When your father died, I thought I had nothing left to give. But you were a baby with hungry eyes. I gave you time. I gave you belief. Maybe that's what we all trade in the end." Ravi nodded. He had learned the same lesson from a different teacher. Business slowed for Vic. Speed was easy to copy. Meaning was not. He came to the blue door looking tired. "Can I learn?" he asked. Ravi poured tea. He showed him how to ask, "What word would your future self write to you?" He taught him to sit in silence until the word arrived. Vic listened. He thanked him. He left better. Ravi added a note under the counter. "Abundance means we can teach without fear." Ravi launched a yearly event, the Festival of Words. People gathered outside the shop with their words pinned to their shirts. Brave, patient, present, leader, free. They stood in a circle. They spoke their word aloud. They promised to live it for the next 12 months. Kana stood beside Ravi. His mother sat in a chair, wrapped in a shawl, clapping softly. A journalist asked Ravi, "How did a station sketcher build all this?" Ravi smiled. "I didn't build it alone. I just started exchanging. I traded paper for pride, ink for identity, frames for future. The world did the rest." One morning, a call came from a ministry office in the capital. "We saw the Festival of Words," the voice said. "We run a youth program. We need someone to teach students how to set a personal word and carry it through the year. Are you available?" Ravi looked at the blue door, at the circle on the wall, at the letter framed near the entrance, at his mother, sewing ribbons with steady hands. "I'm available," he said. "And I have a friend named Vic who can help." They flew out the next week. 2 boys from a platform teaching rooms full of students to speak their word out loud. Sometimes life pays you in a currency you never knew existed. Strip this story to its bones and you'll find 5 ribs now. Thoughts matter, but thoughts without offers are clouds without rain. Give first, real value. Make people feel seen, stronger, or steadier. They will trade with you. Package meaning, don't sell paper, minutes, or pixels. Sell identity, memory, hope, belonging, celebration. Hold your price with dignity. If you must adjust, redesign, don't discount your worth. Build roots. Rain will come, Rivals will appear. Markets will wobble. Keep watering. When you live this way, the world becomes a market of mutual good. You stop waiting for luck. You start creating exchange. Now it's your platform, your pen, your day. What can you offer today? Not someday. Today. Comment one small value you'll give to a stranger, a client, a friend, or yourself. If this story strengthened you, tap heart, share it with someone who needs courage, and subscribe for more powerful, heart-touching stories every week. Remember, you are not empty. You are not late. You are not stuck. You are one honest exchange away from momentum. I'll see you in the next story. Until then, think clearly, give boldly, and keep building roots.